Oh man, this is a big box. Hey guys, and welcome back to another LEGO Technic set review. Today we have the 4x4 Mercedes-Benz Zetros trial truck. A little bit of a mouthful. Set number is 42129. This is going to come in at $300, which is pretty pricey for a Technic set. However, you are getting Control Plus functionality, so that means it's motorized. Out of the box, all you have to do is plug in batteries and it's ready to go, which is really nice. That's honestly like half the price of this set is literally the Control Plus functionality. Now, it is going to have 2,110 pieces, which is pretty light, especially when you compare it to the other set coming out at the same time. The heavy-duty tow truck has almost the same piece count and is literally half the price at $150. That has pneumatic functions, which is, the pumps using air to mimic hydraulics, whereas this is actually using motorized functions. Now, like the set title says, 4x4 trial truck, that is kind of what makes this Technic set special. Apparently, and we're going to have to test this during the in-depth, but apparently this thing can actually really go off-road. It has similar functionalities to what you would see in modern-day Jeeps, the new Ford Bronco. I personally own a Toyota 4Runner, so I'm very familiar with how 4x4 off-roading vehicles work, and apparently has locking differentials. We'll have to test that. So I'm actually really excited to see what this set can do. Apparently it can also climb up very steep elevations. We'll just have to see. That functionality, if it really does work, might indeed make this set a little bit more easy to swallow that $300 price tag. Looking at the back, it basically is just a two-seater truck with kind of a weird, racing style backside. There is some like little cones that I guess you can dodge around, and we'll play around with that. But apparently there's also, again, some different gearbox type of things going on here. So a lot to dive in. I'm excited to use it. I am also going to be using a beta version of the Control Plus app because this set was provided to me early, so I have to use the early version of the apps. So also keep that in mind when I'm showing that to you guys. Again, I'm very thankful that LEGO did send this over. Really appreciate them. Now, without ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this set, into the in-depth, and really give this thing quite the trial. All right, so now looking at this Mercedes-Benz trial truck, my first impressions were that it's a little bit bigger than I had anticipated, which is a very good thing. You can see it definitely has quite a lot of height off the ground, which is good, but it will still bottom out, as you guys will see soon, because of the gearboxes and where the wheels sit. There is quite a few stickers you have to apply. I think it was at least over 40, which is pretty crazy, and I definitely did not enjoy doing that. Looking at the front of the Mercedes-Benz Zetros trial truck, you'll see that there is 3 windshield wipers that are actually movable. They are a little fragile and they're very easy to break off. The front hood does actually open and reveals a small little engine with a sticker on it. And then on the sides, on both sides actually, there are some mirrors that tend to actually break quite frequently. There's also a 3-seater inside with steering wheel and control panel that is also a sticker. There is backlights and some different little stickers there, and there is a printed Mercedes logo on the front of a shield Lego piece. There's some headlights on both sides, and I don't know why, a rubber ducky, which honestly, I kind of love that. Also included is 4 flag stands, and honestly, I don't really find them to be that useful in this type of set. You'll see here soon that the Zetros really doesn't go that fast. You can store them in the back, however. The next feature is there is this panel in the middle of the truck, and you can open it up and it reveals like a motor and basically the gear system for the transmission, which is really cool. Additional details include 2 fire extinguishers that I honestly find to break very often, so it's kind of disappointing with that. In terms of the Control Plus part, it's very easy to connect to the app. All you have to do is click the green button once you have batteries installed. Looking at the app itself, again, this is a beta version. There's 2 different sticks for steering and acceleration, and then you also have a lock for the rear diff to turn it on and off, and it actually does serve quite a purpose. There's also this feature where you can basically just use one hand to control the steering and acceleration for both forwards and backwards at the same time.
I don't really like this. I like the manual controls personally, but it might be something useful if you like just using one hand on your phone. There's also some challenges and different things you can do there on the app, as well as there being an augmented reality feature, which I think is actually pretty cool. It's very functional. And I gotta say, I do find the augmented reality to be very interesting. It could be considered like an educational feature for, someone who isn't familiar with mechanics. So that's neat. The other thing is that you can recalibrate the steering and the acceleration. This actually starts up when you first get the model, so you don't even have to think about it. But if it does get out of sync, there is a way to reprogram that. What you just saw there was the rear diff on the back side, engaging and disengaging. And then you can also see here, just like a real truck, it has a gear system that actually does function. Very cool. And then we have the steering, which honestly doesn't turn that much. I wish it turned a little bit more. Now we get into the fun part, the actual off-roading. So I'm going to let you guys watch this for a quick second. So currently I do not have the rear diff engaged, and then here in a second, using the app, when I engage the rear differential lock, you'll see that the wheels stop spinning and you get a lot more traction to push through on the rock scrambles. So right here is a great example of how much power and torque it has to actually get over rock scrambles. However, it also shows its flaws with its suspension system really not bending all that much. So as you can see, the Zetros is very impressive on rough terrain. It actually really is a 4x4 off-roader. I am very impressed. However, is it really worth that $300? Let's talk about that.
All right, so we've taken an in-depth now on this Zetros Mercedes off-roading vehicle, and it's very cool. It really is. When I first turned it on and I saw how it just goes so slow, I was like, wow. I was expecting that it would go at least a little bit faster, especially when you're not using the rear differential lock. But that just isn't the case. It doesn't increase speed at all. I guess that's just a compromise they have to make with the transmission system and the gear systems that they went with here. But the box makes it look like it's going fast for some reason. Maybe it's just me, but if you're buying this set and you're thinking that you're going to go fast with it, that's just not going to happen. But if you're buying this set and you think you're going to be able to go up steep angles, or you're going to go off-roading on some actual rock scrambles like I showed, then it's not so bad. I was actually pretty impressed with what Lego has been able to achieve here, and I gotta say it was a lot of fun. Granted, it was 95 degrees Fahrenheit. When I tested this out in the heat, it stood up in that heat and it did its thing, and I was very impressed. I actually kind of thought that the rear differential wasn't going to be functional, or at least it wasn't going to make that much of a difference, but it really did, just like a real 4x4 off-roader. I personally own a Toyota 4Runner with a lot of off-roading features on that vehicle, and the rear diff is absolutely important when you're off-roading. I've actually done some rock scrambles when I went to the state of Maine in the US, and that's a very important feature for when you're off-roading, so it was really cool to see how Lego integrated in this vehicle. Now, you do have to really address the fact that you're getting 2,000 pieces for a $300 set. And then when you compare this right along the tow truck, which is launching the same time this is, which is almost the exact same piece count and $150 less. That is so steep. So basically what you're paying that $150 for is the Mercedes brand license. You're paying for the Control Plus, motorization. You're paying for all those motors, the battery pack, and then you're paying whatever Lego thinks their app costs to develop. And to be honest, making apps is very costly. Now, however, this is an app that's kind of spread across multiple Lego Technic sets. So, should it really cost? Should you really be paying that much of a premium because of the app feature? I don't know. And then you also have the augmented reality, which I thought was really interesting. So there is a lot going for this set. At the end of the day, $300 is a lot for the set in front of you. So unless you are really interested in off-roading and doing rock scrambles and really like the idea of pushing Technic sets to the limit, that's only what this set can do. It's not going to go fast. You're not going to be racing this down your driveway. You're not going to be bothering really that many people because it goes kind of pretty slow. It's just that value doesn't fully feel like it's there. The app experience is really well done, and the set is very well made, and it does have a lot of cool mechanics within it. But it still, at the end of the day, for me, doesn't feel like a $300 set. At max, I would pay $250, maybe $220. But $300 is just a little bit too much, guys. So on that regard, I don't know if I can recommend this set. I think look at the tow truck that has pneumatic features, the pumping hydraulics using air, and I think you're getting a lot of functionality with that. Go check out that review, see what you think of that, compare this set along that. And then the other thing we have to note is that there's a possible very big, very expensive Technic set right on the horizon. Supposedly in October of 2021, we'll be getting some type of Caterpillar bulldozer. And I don't know about you, but the Caterpillar bulldozer sounds far more interesting, and it's a license that Lego Technic has never done. If this comes true, of course, I don't know anything, so we'll just have to wait and see. So my suggestion is, if you are interested in the set, at the very least, I would wait until October to see if that Caterpillar bulldozer comes true, because I feel like you'd want to spend that extra $150 for the bulldozer set than paying $300 for the Mercedes 4x4 here. I can't recommend it at the $300 price, but if you can get it for a discount, I still think it is a very fun set. Thanks so much to Lego for sending this set over for review. I've really enjoyed doing Technic reviews. It's a very big change from what I usually do. I was able to go outside and actually off-road test a Lego set. I don't feel like I get the chance to do that very often, if at all. So this was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed making this review. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I didn't go super technical in it. That's just not my specialty. That's what other Lego Technic channels really do. My thing is, I just want to let you guys know if it's a fun set or not, and if it actually functions like the way the box shows. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.